Yeah, Prophet Marshall Occurrence. So that was the introduction to basically America having to suffer for being part of the gang stalking. It's gotta happen. Whether you like it or not, whether we like it or not, whether they like it or not, or they like it or not, it has to happen. It's inevitable. It's too much bad karma. See, one thing that the gang stalkers did not consider is bad karma. Bad karma has been manipulated so much in America that when you talk to many white Americans, when you talk about bad karma, they gonna think about the history where they manipulated bad karma. That's why some of them don't believe in God, because all they did and nothing happened. Oh, listen. Look at all they did to black people and nothing happened. Look at all that happened to black people and many will say, well, God didn't do anything about it. And I'm not disrespecting God when I say that. I'm not saying that God is not real when I say that. But there are many people that would say, well, look at all that happened. So what's the difference when we play with this person right here? Look at all we did to these other people, all these other slaves and black people. Look at what we did to all them other people. We could just do the same thing. What's the difference? Especially in the South. What's the difference? We could do the same thing we've been doing. This is just one person. The difference is, I'm going to tell you what the difference is. I'm going to tell you anyway. I'm going to tell you anyway what the difference is. I'm going to tell you anyway what the difference is. The difference is, God is on my side. I am a prophet of God, whether you believe it or not. Right? Which means God is involved. Oh, he's involved. I know, listen. You as Americans, you think God involved with you, don't you? He's involved with you, isn't he? See, the truth is, God is not a respecter of persons. Can I explain to you all the injustices in society? No, I cannot. But I know one thing for sure, is that when you have God on your side and when you serve the Lord, stuff gonna happen to these people that's playing in your face. Stuff gonna happen to them. And they so used to manipulating their karma or putting a safeguard against bad karma. Let's look at it like that. They put a safeguard, have arms and military and police against bad karma. That's what they've been doing in America. They've had police and military to safeguard them against bad karma. Oh, that's how they've been doing it over the years. That's safe to say. They've been using military and police to repel bad karma. But guess what? This time it ain't working. You know why? Because the prophet done dug in. I done dug in. I done got her done. You know what I did? Listen, I realized I had to use spiritual weapons against your American systems. And now they talking about the water system is not doing good. People are trying to attack the water system. See, you ain't gonna catch me doing it. You might catch somebody else doing it. You ain't gonna catch me doing it. I'ma just fast about it, and somebody else gonna probably do it. Something bizarre is gonna happen. What's gonna be bizarre to you? This is real. People think man. People think I'm acting, man. Listen, we don't act over here. There's no scripts. There's no movies. There's no TV shows or series. This is real. This is real life. They played with us. We fought back and we won. Now God is on our side. Now other people of the community is on our side. But see, in this case, man, the situation is so serious. You can't ride the gate. You can't straddle the fence. You can't straddle the fence. You got to be on one side or the other. And how we determine that really is support. If you're not supporting us, how good is your alliance anyway? If you're not out here talking about America marrying children, how good is your support anyway? If you're not telling the true narrative that these people are the ones that's the pedophiles, this whole community is pedophiles. If you're not in that narrative, how do you serve us? How do you support us? You see what I'm saying, right? That's not a support. That's not no support. Support, if you don't understand, has to be money, goods, food, spreading information. If you don't have money, if you don't have food to help God's true people, at least spread the information that America has been lying to us the whole time. They've been the pedophiles the whole time. At least you could do that. So if you're not even doing that and you just sitting on your rump and you ain't even, you got a phone and you could be texting, people on social media and you could be texting, you got family, you could be texting, you could be telling them about child marriage laws. Imagine you saying you supporting us and we taking you seriously. We don't take you seriously. If you support us, at least at minimum, you should be spreading information about America marrying children. Otherwise, listen, you still in the old perspective of America, like they protect children. That's a joke. They don't protect no children. How you protect children and marry children at the same time? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Make it make sense where you marry children, but you are heroes and you love children. You love children, but you marry children. Yeah, you do love children, don't you? You love them like you love a woman. You love them like you love a man, don't you? Listen, how you gonna love children and marry children? Come on, man, that's a joke, man, don't you see? And this is the information that defeats the enemy. We don't need to do nothing else. We don't need to talk about nothing else. It's case closed. It's case closed on me and you, what they was talking about. They marrying children. If you did have pedophiles in this country, I don't see it the same way anymore. You do the same thing as a community. You have sex with animals. You do the same thing. Right now in West Virginia, they can have sex. There's no laws against having sex with animals. They have sex with animals in West Virginia, Wyoming, and it used to be Hawaii. In one other state, right? It used to be 4 states that allowed. Now it's West Virginia. Hawaii was one of the most popular places where they allowed the state of Hawaii. Hawaii is a state, right? Hawaii allowed sex with animals. All the time these celebrities been going to Hawaii, the whole time they allow sex with animals. Let's ponder that. Or you can go look up the history of Hawaii. Oh, they just got rid of it because the prophet is talking. Oh, you don't think I know? That's 7 out. They just got rid of it. Go look at the whole history of Hawaii allowing Americans to have sex with animals. Go look up the history of West Virginia. Still, West Virginia is still allowing sex with animals. And you want to talk about what? Bestiality? Well, I'm going to talk to you about your country allowing sex with animals right now. So if I was one case of it, you got a whole state of it. Who wins, me or them? You got a whole state that allows sex with animals versus one case that you're talking about. What's worse? What's worse? A person that had some type of interaction with animals sexually, or a whole state that allows all type of interactions with animals sexually, a whole state that allows all kind of interactions with animals sexually. What's worse? Well, you attacked one case. Well, why wouldn't you as a whole country attack one state? That's 7 out. One state, West Virginia. One case, one state. Weigh the scales. Which one is worse? One state or one case? Come on, man. You can't listen. You can't see the prophet. Come on, stop playing. You got animal sex all around the world, buddy. Go look up the history of animal sex all around the world. Everywhere. Mexicans, you can't be serious. Down in Mexico, you got donkey bars where women have sex with donkeys in bars. You don't want to listen, man. I know the Mexicans ain't talking. Man, y'all have sex with donkeys, man. Donkeys in bars. Go Google donkey bars in Mexico and see the history of Mexicans going to these bars and getting drunk and watching women have sex with donkeys. You don't want to do it with the prophet. You don't want to do this. You don't want to act like you got me in some Freddy Krueger folklore kind of situation when I can show you anything you talking about that I did. I can show you anything. I can normalize it in your whole world and whole community. I can normalize whatever you talking about that I did everywhere. In this country and outside this country. I can take it from here to south of the border. How you want to do it? How you want to do it? You want to keep it here in America? You got West Virginia to have sex with animals. While you holding on to details and descriptions and things, you don't even know how it happened. You don't even know what really happened. I can show you what really happened. You got West Virginia that has no laws against sex with animals. You got it? Good. Good. I'm glad you got it. That's for all people with the cartoon folklore and the cartoon stuff, the Macaulay Culkin cartoon stuff. You got sex with animals in West Virginia. Okay? You done it all. Which means now, listen, welcome to the real America where they got no laws against having sex with animals in the state of West Virginia. You didn't know that, did you? See, when you're not educated, you make a fool of yourself. No pun intended. You will make a fool of yourself. You ain't even know America was marrying children. You ain't even know America was having sex with animals. So now, listen, no matter what I did, do you think I would feel abnormal? Not abnormal. Abnormal would not be the word. Not when you're doing the same thing. Why would I feel abnormal? But that's what you want people to feel. You want people to feel based on what they did as children like they abnormal, and I can show you everything that you talking about. I can show you how you're doing it right now. Right now you're doing it. What you want to talk about? What you want to talk about? Bestiality. You having sex with animals in West Virginia. You can't talk, listen, so why would I feel bad about anything I did? You become clowns to me. You're a cartoon to me. I'm in reality to me. I see myself as real in reality to me. I'm showing you stuff that you're doing right now in reality. Up here having sex with animals in West Virginia, and then you had sex with animals in Hawaii. Which we already know what that was about. All these beautiful women in Hawaii, people doing freaky stuff, wanting to see them have sex and engage with animals. Oh, I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Dancing around with dancing around with them grass skirts on, like they dancing in the hula hoop, and you want to see them do something with animals, don't you? Dancing around with them grass skirts on, like they dancing with a hula hoop on, with a hula hoop around their waist, right? You want to see them do something with animals. You want to see them do something with animals, don't you? Well, that's the past. I'm pretty sure you did. You don't want to do it with the prophet, man. You don't want to do this. See, I'm going to show you the real world. I'm going to show you, like the Bible says, there is nothing new under the sun. Listen, with the gang stalkers, they act like it was something new under the sun, didn't they? They thought what they heard about us was new, something was new under the sun. And we could show them right here in this same country, they doing the same exact thing. I don't care what it is. You point it out, you bring it to me, and listen, I promise you, I can find somebody else doing the same thing. Or worse, Let's not forget, the worst case of pedophilia is Officer Shadrick Jones making a black mother perform a sex act on a 1-year-old child. That's the worst case of pedophilia. 1 year old. What's 5 times? This ain't a trick question. What's 5 times worse than 5 years old? 1 year old. 1 year old is 5 times worse than 5 years old. The worst case of pedophilia is Officer Shadrick Jones that made a black mother perform a sex act on a 1-year-old child. That's the worst case. Ain't nothing worse than that. 1-year-old child, man. See, you ain't in the real world. That's all it is. See, I've been in the real world for a long time. Me, myself, particularly me. Me, particularly. I've been in the world for a long time, right? And I've heard things, right? Some of y'all ain't seen nothing and ain't heard nothing. Listen, that's why you came out here like you had something. You found out the hard way you didn't have nothing. Made a fool of yourself. What this video is going to be about is understanding that these Americans gotta suffer. Oh yeah, they gotta suffer. They gotta suffer. It's not gonna be, well, they the ones made us do it. They took it too far. Well, yeah, they took it too far. They did take it too far, but everybody played their position. Everybody played, and then they want to blame the secret societies. And now the secret societies are halfway on my side, but, they ain't got my bag, they ain't got my money. But they seeing things my way now. Now that they came out here one way and left another way. You know what way they done left? Realizing that, anything they talk about me, they doing the same thing in this country. That's how they leaving. You know how they leaving? They leaving realizing America having sex with animals. I can prove that in the context that what you was told about me, I can prove that same context more credible than what you've been told about me. You got a law to do it in Wyoming. You had a law to do it in Hawaii. You still got a law in West Virginia. The law is there is no laws. See, a smart person, only a lawyer will understand this and verbalize this. The law is no law. That's the law. Where it looks like they're not liable, where it makes them not look liable, the law is there is no law against having sex with animals. That is the law. See, only a lawyer would talk on those levels and lanes like that. Okay? So anything they insinuate, whether it be pedophilia, bestiality, incest, you don't want to talk about incest. Jerry Lee Lewis, rock and roll legend Jerry Lee Lewis, didn't he marry his 13-year-old cousin? Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Jerry Lee Lewis, these white folks ain't never talk about Jerry Lee Lewis marrying his 13-year-old cousin when he was a grown man. Like I told you, they got a standard for us and they got a standard for them. This is why black people learn the hard way. You never take your problems to white America. You never take your problems to these white people. You don't never take your problems to no white folks. Because this is what they gonna do. They gonna make a whole circus of the whole situation. They gonna tear up the whole community. You gonna feel bad about it. You gonna realize it's all over. You took your problems to white people. I didn't take my promise to white people. Guess who I took my promise to? I took my promise to God, buddy. You took your promise to white people. Ultimately. You can add a little bit of pepper on there, salt and pepper. You can put a little bit of pepper on there. But ultimately, it's mashed potatoes with a little bit of pepper on it. It's mashed potatoes with pepper. The people you used was mashed potatoes with pepper. What that tell you? It's mostly mashed potatoes. What that tell you? It's mostly white folks. Well, you started out with pepper, now you got mashed potatoes. Well, you just had a little salt shaker, you had the pepper, didn't you? Now you got, listen, what you got now? What you got now? You got a whole bunch of lumpy mashed potatoes, don't you? That you can't get rid of. See, this is where black people made a fool of themselves, taking their promise to white folks. You never take no promise to white folk, because they can't understand black people anyway. I can show you where it's, listen, when you want to talk pedophilia, I can show you where it's a pedophile in every African-American family tree. Oh, ask these black women, all of them been molested. So the smart person realizes there's a pedophile in most family trees of African Americans. Well, why all these women complaining about being sexualized? I'm talking about the women. If you are a ladies' man, how many black women you done dated, right? That when y'all got pillow talk, she started telling you about all the stuff she went through. I done dated so many black women, and they all tell me the same thing. They got sexualized by somebody in their family. So, won't black people look at your own history? Won't you look at your own history of all the black women? Won't you ask black women? I challenge you. I challenge you to ask all these black women in your family, have they been molested? Have they been sexualized? So what that tell us? It's a whole issue in the whole black community, and they gotta have several seats. You got to have several seats because you have had pedophiles all throughout your history, all throughout your family trees of black people, all these pedophiles in the black community. Oh, well, in the black community, they ain't their own families. Oh, they ain't prowling the streets. No, they ain't prowling the streets, but they prowling their family. Oh, listen, here's some homework for you. Here's some homework for you. Go ask black women, have they been sexualized by somebody in their family? You know how I know that? Because I've dated a whole bunch of black women. That's how I know. And all of them complained about the same thing. All of them. All the relationships I've had recently, man, all of them complain. All these black women complain about the same thing. So then how can you come out here as a community acting like you don't know like y'all ain't been sexualized yourselves, like you ain't sexualized people yourselves? You see what I'm saying? You just made a fool of yourself. You didn't consider yourselves. All I do is all I challenge you to do is go ask people in your family. That's all I ask you to do. So you can stop acting like some Freddy Krueger stuff has happened to you. Won't you go ask people in your family that has been through the same thing? So then guess what it means? Guess what that means when they went through the same thing you went through? It is normal according to the human experience, where you can't demonize no particular person. You can't demonize me if the whole black community been sexualizing each other. Listen, buddy, you living in a corny world. You living in a goofy world, a clown circus world. I'm living in the real world where half of the women you dated have been sexualized. Half of them been sexualized. You don't want to talk with the prophet. You don't want to talk this for real. You don't want to talk this real. You don't want to talk this for real. Where half of these black women, the more you go back in time, with more generations, the older the generations, the more it happened. The more it happened at the hands of their own family. And then they come out here brand new like you don't know nothing about pedophilia. You should know something about it. You've been through it. Your family been through it, and the family, the generations before this generation, before your mom and them generation, I guarantee you they been through it. And so on and so on and so on, the further you go back. All I'm trying to show you, buddy, you ain't nothing special. We all been through it. Like like one dude told me, we all been molested. Welcome to the club. We all been molested. That's what an American man told me, and he was absolutely right. We all been molested, little buddy. You acting like what you want a cookie for it? We all been molested. Even the prophet been sexualized as a child. We all been through it. Some people just make an excuse for their failures by acting like what them being sexualized is the reason why they're a failure. No, you a failure because you was arrogant. You a failure because you was full of pride and you couldn't humble yourself. That's why you're a failure. But you come out here acting like you being sexualized was the reason why you was failing. Or why you failed. The reason why you failed because you was arrogant and you was prideful in your own personal life. And then people come out here and act like something happened to them to make them fail. See, some people use that sexuality stuff as a means to explain why they failed. But then we seen you have a certain amount of success. So make it make sense when you had a certain amount of success, although you were sexualized, you had a certain amount of success. So, but then later, you see what I'm saying? You see the confusion? But then later, you being sexualized was the reason why you failed. Make it make sense, man. Make it make sense. But we seen you with success, though. We seen you have something. We seen you doing something. But then all of a sudden, this is why you failed. That's what the insinuation is. So you got to watch insinuations. People will come out here and use what they went through when they failed to say, this is why I failed. Well, I was sexualized as a child. That's why I'm a loser. No, you're a loser because you was prideful and arrogant. And you couldn't humble yourself. When you interacted with other human beings, you thought you was going to have it your way, and it didn't work. That's what happened to you. But they'll blame you for why they failed. They'll say what you did to them is why they failed. They'll say you sexualizing them is why they failed, and why they ain't nothing, why they traumatized. Why you traumatized is because you, listen, I'm going to tell you why you traumatized. Because you came out here acting like Tupac, acting like thugs and gangsters to your own women, treating your women like she's supposed to respect you like you Tupac. And it didn't work. You got to humble yourself to your woman. You came out here to your woman acting like she gonna bow down to you, and it didn't work. You thought the community was gonna bow down to you, and it didn't work. That's why you failed. See, I lived in the real world, and I still live in the real world. I know how to humble myself. You got to humble yourself to your woman. You can't act like your woman in a relationship with Tupac, where she got to bow down to you. No, that's why you failed. It ain't because somebody sexualized you. You had success, and then you walked around like Tupac after success, and you can't do that. That's why you failed. Okay? A lot of people, listen, that's what it was. You can't come out here like that. You got to humble yourself in the real world. You got to be humble. Little do we know, your life in the hands of other people at all times. If you living with somebody, you living with another woman, she could do anything to you. Think about that. You got to be humble. A woman can do anything. Think about it. You live with a woman, you can't be mistreating no woman, and you living with her. She could do anything to you. I'm talking the real, bro. I'm talking the real, where people have blamed you for why they failed. When all of us have been sexualized in America, half of us have been sexualized. Now you realize it. Now you realize you listen, your situation is absolutely normal. Like I said, one dude told me, we all been molested. We all been molested. We have. You look at it for what it is. And some people ain't gonna tell you. They gonna take it to the grave. They ain't gonna tell you that what happened. So when you ask some people, they ain't gonna tell you. They gonna take it to the grave. And guess what? They ain't gonna tell you the parts that they enjoyed. Oh, where they had sex with their favorite cousins. Oh, they ain't gonna tell you the part they enjoyed. They ain't gonna tell you the part where they didn't feel molested. They ain't gonna tell you the part where they had sexual experiences with their family members, but they didn't feel molested. But they gave consent to do it. Half of these people out here, man, listen, you got more than one type of situation. You talk about the situations where you feel like you were sexualized and you really didn't like the person, right? But you ain't gonna tell the stories where you actually enjoyed as a child sexual experiences with your family. You ain't gonna tell them stories. You gonna tell us the stories that make you look like a victim. You gonna tell us the stories that make you look like a victim. Well, tell us the other half of the stories where you enjoyed some of the sex acts with your own family. See, I live in the real world, buddy. How some of y'all, listen, it was your favorite cousin, I guarantee you. I'm gonna tell you who it was. I'm gonna tell you who it was, who the sex acts you enjoyed when as a child. It was the ones that you had with your favorite cousins. Cause that's the ones you're gonna be all up under. That's the ones you're gonna be close to. Them the ones that you had sex with and you enjoyed the sex acts. See the balance? Do you see the balance? Do you see the balance? Oh, I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about, buddy. I'm a grown man talking about this stuff. I'm not a little boy, a bashful boy talking about this. No pun intended, I'm a grown man talking about this. Half of y'all ain't telling your full sex history when you enjoyed sex acts with some of your favorite cousins. You ain't gonna tell us about that. No, you're gonna tell us about the ones that make you look like a victim. Well, won't you tell us the sex acts you enjoyed with your family, so we can see the whole narrative, so we can see the real narrative. Listen, I'm saying all this for a reason. I'm saying all of this for a reason. Yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. I'm saying all of it for a reason. People sitting up telling half what they done, half of what they experienced. Well, tell the other half about your favorite cousin, Dee, Big Dee. Dee and DJ playing basketball together and wind up sexualizing each other. Two tall cousins, Dee and DJ, love to play basketball together. Hey, they got all kind of sex history together, don't they? Dee and DJ. Dee is the girl, DJ is the tall cousin. Dee and DJ got all kind of, listen, I'm just giving examples. Playing basketball, love each other. Guess what happened? Now, I guarantee you they got sex acts together. I guarantee you they do. And guess what? They're going to take it to the grave. They ain't going to tell nobody. See, when it comes to finding out the truth of humanity, once you get old enough, you know some people is going to take things they have done, whether it be sexual or non-sexual in nature, they going to take it to the grave. They ain't going to tell you exactly what happened. And I ain't going to tell you exactly all the stuff I've done. Because that's between me and God. You ain't gonna tell me everything you done. No, you not. Whether it be sexual in nature or non-sexual in nature. You ain't gonna tell me everything you done. Some stuff you gonna take to the grave. And that's the human experience that we all live down here in the real world, not in the cartoon world. Y'all gonna take some stuff to the grave, and you know that. And I know that. You know how I know that? Because I'm old enough to know that. You're going to take some stuff to the grave and you ain't going to tell nobody what you done. The world is full of people got hearts of things, and they say they repented, and they listen, and they have. They gave their life to God, but they got stuff they taking to the grave. They ain't gonna tell nobody what happened, and that's between them and God. I can't tell. Listen, I'm not gonna try to come out here and dig up something in your heart that you taking to the grave. No pun intended. And that's what the Americans was trying to do. Come out here and dig up, and they got all kind of skeletons in their closet. They ain't gonna tell you everything they did. My thing is this: if you telling me something, I'm smart enough to think, what are you not telling me? If you tell me all this information, what is you not telling me is my thing. You probably ain't, listen, it's probably all kind of stuff you done. But that's not my problem, is it? That's not for me to figure it out, is it? That's between you and the Lord. See, I understand the human experience where people are taking stuff to the grave. I guarantee you got something in your heart you taking to the grave. And you could be righteous, you could be unrighteous, you could be the wicked. You could be a military police, you could be anything your little heart want to be. And I guarantee you got something in your heart that you're taking to the grave. You ain't gonna tell nobody exactly how it happened. You ain't gonna tell the full details, even if you talk about it. Listen, I got stuff, and you got stuff that you're taking to the grave, okay? Act like you know. Act like you know. Like people used to say back in the 90s, act like you know. Act like you know that you got stuff that you take into the grave as Americans. Yes, you do. You got all kind of stuff you take into the grave. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me like you a cartoon. You got stuff, listen, like you, because I'm not one, you must be. Listen, stop playing with me like you a cartoon, like you ain't got something. It could be non-sexual. It's something. You could have stole something. You could have stole something from your family. You could have did something. You could have did, it's a million things you could have did or said. But it's something. I guarantee you, if you live down here in America, specifically, I guarantee you, if you live long enough, you got something in your heart that you take into the grave and you ain't gonna tell us. And guess what? That's okay. That's okay. It's okay for you not to tell us. The problem is when you come out here playing in my face. That's the problem. The problem is when you come out here playing with me and we know you got stuff that you take into the grave. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. You talking to a grown man over here and now you know. Now you know. Act like you know and now you know. So what we gonna be talking about is parallel with this and complements what I just said. These people came out here talking about whatever they talking about, bro. Listen. And played they self. Like people say in New York, they played they self. They came out here and played they self, bro. Because we all know as grown, competent men and women that you got stuff you take into the grave. You came out here and played yourself like you don't. You came out here and played yourself like you ain't got nothing. You came out here and played yourself like you ain't got nothing we could talk about you. You know what I'm saying? And so guess what happens? God gets involved and God knows everything. And listen, therefore it's all over. Okay? It's all good and over. It's all good and over. And guess what? I don't really care. You know why I don't care that it's over? Because I done lived my life. I done lived my life. I done been married. I had a kid. I done been all around the country. I done went everywhere I wanted to go in this country. If I ain't lived there, I've been through there. If it's significant, I done lived my life. I don't care. Listen, it's only young people that ain't lived their life and that's scared to die. The only people that's scared to die is these young people because you ain't done nothing. Me, I done lived my life. I done lived my life. Listen, I done lived my life, buddy. We ain't scared to die. We done lived our life. So death is corny in this situation. Death is corny to an old man. Death is corny to me. I mean, the insinuation of it, the intimidation of it, if you will. We done lived our life over here, buddy. See, now, if you came to me like 20 years ago when I was 25, I mean, I hadn't really lived my life yet. I done lived my life, buddy. I'm 45 years old. You see how stupid they look? Because I done lived my life, buddy. Listen, let me help you understand something. Your community must suffer as a collective community for what they have done to God's people, and acting like they ain't got no secrets they self, acting like they ain't got nothing they taking to the grave they self. You got stuff you taking to the grave as gang stalkers. Let's establish this. That's the punchline. Don't these gang stalkers got stuff they taking to the grave? These gang stalkers got stuff they taking to the grave. No, I'm pretty sure they do. Narcissistic as they are, I'm pretty sure they do. I'm pretty sure they got something they taking to the grave. You don't think so? I know so. I know you got stuff you're taking to the grave. So don't get sanctimonious or holier than thou in this situation. Don't get holier than thou and sanctimonious and religious. When we know, listen, it's stuff that you are taking to the grave. You're not gonna tell nobody. You're not gonna tell nobody exactly what happened. How you think I know that? Because I'm human. See, once you have mastered being human yourself, you master everybody else. Because I know you just like me. So guess what that means? You're just as human, just like me, right? Once I master myself in understanding myself, I have mastered everyone else. Now I can speak to everyone else once I've mastered myself. And guess what that means? Everything I'm saying is right on. I've nailed everything I've said. Y'all got stuff you take it to the grave, and you ain't gonna never tell nobody what it is that you done. Whether it's sexual or non-sexual, it don't have to be sexual. But you got stuff in your heart. You got stuff in your soul. You ain't never told nobody. And that's okay. That's okay that you don't tell nobody. That's part of the human experience, that you got stuff you taking to the grave, and guess what? You ain't gonna tell nobody. And it ain't for the Americans to dig it out your heart. It's not for nobody to dig it out your heart. That's between you and God. And listen, unless they do it, why should you do it? The Americans ain't gonna do it. They ain't gonna tell you everything they done and dig up everything, and so why would you do it? Why would you be subject to that? And they not doing the same thing. Think about it. They ain't gonna tell you everything they done and every little secret they got in their heart and every little thing they got in their mind. They ain't gonna tell you things they taken to the grave. That's how you get these people up off you. You know how you do it? You talk to them like you a grown man. You got stuff you taking to the grave. How dare you try to act like you insinuating something about me? And so, this guerrilla warfare with this community, this goofy American community, acting like they ain't got nothing they taking to the grave. They done played theyself. Done come out here and played theyself. The Bible says the way you judge others, so the same way you gonna be judged. Not a different way where we gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. No. We gonna consider that you got stuff in your heart that you take it to the grave too. Well, it ain't no excuse. Oh, you can't blame me. You can't blame somebody else. You gotta blame yourself. You gotta take responsibility for yourself. You can't tell the police, oh, it's somebody else's fault. You can't tell God it's somebody else's fault. I'm sorry to tell you. You can't tell God, oh, well, somebody sexualized me. This is why I am the way I am. See, some of y'all ain't built for real life. Because you know what? Old school was sexualized and they still had to live life. Old school was sexualized. They still had to get up and get a job and live life after being molested. They had to still get up and live life. Brutally molested by grown men and women. Brutally molested. Had to get up and get jobs and get light and get themselves together. Now these days, oh, it's a crutch. It's a crutch if you're molested. You get to go around like you special needs, and it's a crutch for what all that happened to you. The old school, they got molested and life went on. They were resilient. The term is resilience. So when I see somebody not practicing resilience, you're using that as a crutch and an excuse for why you didn't find success in your life. You're trying to save face for why you was not successful. Why the rest of us have been molested and look what happened to us. We still survive. Why you can't? Because listen, the truth is it was other issues for why you didn't survive. And then you wanted to use that issue for why you was not successful. Oh yeah. Well, if all of us were molested basically in America, then why Oprah Winfrey succeeded? Oprah Winfrey was molested. Vanessa Williams, the model, the first black Miss America, she was molested. Tyler Perry molested. Tyler Perry was molested. Look at the billionaire he is. So once we see examples of other people sexualized with success, then we cannot be subject to those who fail and say, well, if you are molested, the insinuation is then you have the right to be a failure, or that's the excuse for why you failed. No. I see through others that people can survive and be resilient. And the truth is, you failed for other reasons of arrogance and pride. I guarantee you that's what it was. But then you want to use this to say this is why you failed. But then I can show you other people that went through more than you and succeeded. Make it make sense. I can show you other people that were molested, brutally molested by grown men and women. And they succeeded. So why couldn't you do the same thing? You know why? Because you failed for other reasons. It wasn't because you failed because of that. You failed for other reasons. And then you use that as a cop-out for why you failed. That's the insinuation. You might not say it, but that's the insinuation. Well, I failed because I was sexualized. But everybody else succeeding over here. Make it make sense. So see, we no longer, I don't even listen to somebody coming out here crying about it because it's not normal for people to do it. The average person is going, you know what the average person going to do? They're going to take it to the grave. They ain't even going to tell you. It's not even normal for people to tell you. That would have been the red flag for most of us Americans. It ain't even normal for people to come out and tell people stuff that they went through because it's embarrassing. Who goes out there and do that? Who does that? People that's looking to use it as a means of why they failed, but they failed for other reasons. You fail for other reasons. You just didn't have higher psychology. Now you're meeting higher psychology that can pick it apart and tell you. You failed for other reasons. You tried to use that for the reason why you failed. Think about it. Think about it. All of us succeeding over here. Everybody else got surviving and resilient, but now you realize all of us been through it. You see what happened? That person tried to use it for a means to say why they didn't succeed, but all of us been through it. So that make them stick out, right? That something ain't right. What is not right is they failed for other reasons. That's what happened. That's what happened. But they want to make you a scapegoat and a cop-out for why they failed. The reason why they failed was arrogance and pride. And pride, the Bible says, pride goes before destruction. That's what the Bible says. Pride goes before destruction. Destruction in every area of your life. If you go back, you will look and see you was prideful right there. You was prideful for what you did right there, right here, and right there, and that's why you got destruction in your life. See, this is important to understand because a lot of you, I'm not the only one, you're being gang stalked concerning accusations of things you did as a child or a young man or a young woman. Whether it be sexual in nature or non-sexual in nature. It ain't always sexual in nature. You might have stole a lot of money. You might have stole thousands of dollars from your family. And they got revenge by gang stalking you. You see what I'm saying? Oh, I'm pretty sure they're out there. I'm pretty sure they're out there. You're getting gang stalked because you stole a whole bunch of money. You stole $50K. You stole $80,000 from somebody in your family. And you knew exactly what you was doing. Oh, I'm pretty sure that many people are being gang stalked, right? You're being gang stalked for stealing money from your family. You stole a significant amount of money from your family, and that's why you're being gang stalked. Okay? And guess what? Unfortunately, people done the same thing. They done stole stuff from their family. Oh, they have it? Yeah, they have. We ain't proud of it, but listen, it done happen, ain't it? You done stole money from your family. You done stole stuff from your family. You done stole from people in your house, your family, or your community. You done stole before. Most of us, especially the younger the generation, this is facts. We done stole before, right? Right. So unfortunately, to God, a thief is a thief. You see what I'm saying? See, God don't see it like God sees it like tomato. It is tomato. You steal. You a thief, you're a thief. That's how it is. See, we have to, listen, man, we have to keep it 100. This is keeping it 100. Half of y'all are being gang stalked for these type of issues. You see what I'm saying? This is why this is being brought up. This is because you're being gang stalked about these issues, right? So then they need to hear, the people that's gang stalking you need to hear they done stuff that they taken to the grave. So stop playing. Stop playing when you taking stuff to the grave your darn self. Stop playing. Stop playing. See, all you gotta do is master being a human. Once you quickly do that, as quick as you can, you master everybody else. And when you master yourself, you realize within yourself, oh, I'm gonna take that to the grave. I ain't gonna tell nobody about that. Why they need to know? What is it gonna serve them to know about me? You got stuff you take it to the grave. So who am I as a grown man to come pick you apart and say, well, tell me something you're taking to the grave? Listen, you could be married to the person you married to. You ain't gonna tell them everything. You ain't gonna tell them everything you done. Man, I done dated people for years and they just now telling me. I dated a woman that just now told me that she had sex with her cousin. A woman that I was in a relationship with. She just now, last year, told me. I knew her for 14, 15 years. I knew her 14 years before she told me that. And I've got a great memory. She didn't tell me nothing about her favorite cousin. She didn't say he molested her. She said they did everything. She talked about it as if she enjoyed it. Literally. She ain't say she was abused. She said me and my cousin did everything. But you see how long it took for her to tell me that? See, when you know human nature, that's really how people are. Am I gonna tell you everything that I done? You know what I'm saying? No. I ain't gonna tell you everything I've been through. I question people that go out here telling people stuff. Because it gotta be another reason. Because I mastered being a human. And when I master being human myself, I've mastered other people's. It's not. Listen, most people ain't gonna come out here that have the regular, normal human nature and just tell people that they've been molested. It was another reason, and usually another reason is a whole another reason. Ain't got nothing to do with that. It's usually got something to do with money, a woman, or a man. I guarantee you, something like that, buddy. And that's the reason why they went out there on you. They went out there on you about something totally, entirely different. All they did was try to use that information to destroy your character and to destroy your life. It ain't had nothing to do with that. Well, how they was with you a million years? They was with you for years and years. Then why they ain't say nothing then? Why wasn't you alienated from the family then? Because it wasn't in the narrative, and it's never been in the narrative that they're painting now. It was never in the narrative that they painted to the community. And they seen you eventually for who you was anyway. And they seen wasn't nothing wrong with you. And then between their own experiences and things they done, they knew wasn't nothing wrong with you. But they just used that to destroy you. But it didn't work, did it? No, it didn't work. So those are the main reasons you being gang stalked. That's the reasons why. That's the reason why you went through it. But see, when they did that to a prophet, you see what happened, right? The whole world turned upside down, buddy. That's 7 out. The whole world turned upside down. That's what happened. The whole world turned upside down. That's what happened. So you got to understand, man, these are the reasons why this stuff is happening to you. These are the crushed reasons. Listen, what I want you to get from this video is the reasons why people are using information against you for their own convenience and their own narrative to destroy you, but it's for other reasons. It's for other reasons. God will show you those reasons. It ain't got nothing to do with what they talking about. That's what I'm trying to show you. Because if it did, why they ain't been said nothing to you? Why they ain't been alienated you? Because you was never the character of what they're insinuating to the community. That's why. Well, if you had been, then you would have been alienated for something else or for some other kind of weird way you was being. You would have been alienated. Now they're trying to make it make sense, and it don't. It's too late to make it make sense. When you've been a part of the family for years, when you've been part of the American community for years, when you've been in New York like me, you've been in LA and everywhere else like me, make it make sense now that I've been all around the community and you ain't seen me do nothing crazy. What you seen me do? What you seen me do that was crazy? Huh? You ain't seen me do nothing. See, in my particular situation, I done traveled so much, that is my credibility. Well, why ain't do nothing out there if I was so weird? I had plenty of opportunities. I was everywhere. Why ain't nothing sketchy come up? Because that's not who I am. If it was, then it would have happened. Ask a cop if it was, it would have happened. And see if he said yeah. If it was, then it would have happened. If that was my nature, it would have happened. Ask a cop that. Well, I'm pretty sure it would. That's what he's gonna say, especially if you're homeless and you left to your own devices and you ain't got nothing to lose. That's when you're gonna start doing all kind of crazy stuff. Why you ain't see me do nothing crazy? Because that's not who I am. See, they recruited a lot of people against you. Let's review. They had long-term recruits and short-term recruits. This is why, with all the fabric of this whole gang stalking community, the whole fabric and infrastructure of it, the whole collective community of it, this is why all of these people that's in America is going to suffer. They got to. It ain't nothing special to me. It's a whole bunch of crazy people that don't realize they're human too. As soon as I pull your card on you being human yourself, look at your situation. See what I'm saying? So, for God's true people, salute. Over and out.